Hello, my name is Yun Sheng, and this is my final project for COSC 5931, Topics in Computer Science, Web Design, and Advanced Java. My topic is the integration of virtual reality in website design. Introduction. If you're like me, you're probably wondering, why do we care about virtual reality? Isn't that just for gamers? As a matter of fact, that has changed during the past few years. First of all, the market value of virtual reality have grown rapidly from 2016 till now. In 2016, the market value was less than 2 billion US dollars. By 2019, it is nearly 7 billion. By this year, it's projected to rise to 15.8 billion, and by 2025, it's over 25 billion. Secondly, it's no longer just gaming. Many other industries are impacted by VR now. Some examples here, apart from gaming, including healthcare, medical devices, education, manufacturing, and so on. Trends and benefits. The VR trends, in terms of number of users, mirror that of their market value growth. In 2017, there are less than 60 million users, AR and VR combined, in the United States. 6 years later, in 2023, the number has climbed to over 160 million. This rise in popularity of VR is due to its engaging experience offered by VR, either the basic version or more advanced version. Secondly, by the improved accessibility of VR hardware and software. The benefits of VR in website design is very obvious. It makes the user experience much more engaging, and more engaging experience means higher revenue for the company. Web designers have been using VR for a while. First, they use web VR APIs. The current trend is called web XRs. The programming languages are the languages we have learned in the class: C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and Python. Key features and examples. According to a paper published by Mohana M. in 2015, the key features of VR including the following 4 characteristics. First, there is a virtual world. Second, there is immersion of the user in the virtual world. Thirdly, there's a sensory feedback in the virtual world that make the user feel immersive. And lastly, there's interactivity between the user and the virtual world. Next, I'm going to use an example to demonstrate the 4 characteristics in the VR web page. This example comes from the future class VR STEM lessons, and I have selected some chemistry lessons here. On the top is the balancing of a reaction between calcium and oxygen to make calcium oxide. On the bottom is the burning of methane, which the reaction formula is methane plus oxygen to produce carbon dioxide in the water. Here, the virtual world is a chemistry lab. And immersion, the students is performing an experiment in the virtual lab. And sensory feedback, the students' hand motions are being tracked on the screen. And the interactivity shows that atoms and compounds on the screen are being moved according to the students' motions. Impact and benefits of VR. For the sake of time, I'll just focus on 3 applications. First one is workforce training. Current data have demonstrated that VR training can reduce workplace injury by 43%. And Boeing's VR training led to 75% reduction in training time. What's more, VR training have 75% retention as compared to 5% to lectures, 10% to reading, and 20% to audio and video lessons. The next application I want to focus on is education. As I showed you in my example earlier, VR lessons can help to make complex concepts much easier to understand. You can also extend the learning beyond the classroom through virtual field trips to museums around the world, or even travel back in time. The market value of this industry is projected to be 700 million by 2025. When asked, most of the students and teachers said they would like to have VR in their classroom. The last application I want to focus on is healthcare. VR can be used to assist diagnosis, treatment planning, and rehabilitation. and also used to train medical professionals. A recent pain management study using VR showed 42% reduction in intense pain. And also, VR can be used for social cognition training for people with autism and mental health issues in virtual therapy sessions. The market value of this industry is projected to be $2.3 billion this year and going to rise rapidly into $25.2 billion in 2030. To summarize, even though gaming still holds the lion's share in VR market revenue, many other industries are catching up and beginning to implement VR in their operations. And these implementations have already shown significant impact and benefits in various sectors. However, there's still some barriers that hinder wider VR adoption, which include, first, the lack of content offering, second, unsatisfactory user experiences, and third, high cost. Therefore, future development should focus on the integration of high-quality VR content into websites, and secondly, the development of cheaper and more comfortable and better VR hardware. And thirdly, softwares that are more inclusive and accessible to users of all backgrounds.